Hello there my fellow holotablers and welcome to another Conquest video guide. Now you will be able to find this and all my other Conquest counter videos on my SWGOH for Life website. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. There'll be a link in the description below to my Conquest page, where if you head over to the enemies tab, you can just search for enemy leader. Yeah, you'll get some speed calculator and then underneath some of suggested counters along with the data disk set you should be having in order to make this very reliable. But now let's just first kick off with the self-destruct data disk set. So going up against Maul. Now, unfortunately, in this time when I was recording this, I wasn't able to find in any later sectors Maul. So this is sector 2 Maul. Obviously, the higher the sector, the more powerful these Maul teams will be, the faster they will be. So some of the things that I'll show you might not work as well depending on the speeds and things like that, but at least you can see the mechanics that you can try out. So Bossk goes very well together with this self-destruct data disk set because it's just applying so many debuffs on the enemies that we keep healing up. And whenever we do get a turn, we'll be able to, turn these things around. And as well, because of all these debuffs being applied to the enemies whenever they get a turn, they keep getting ability blocked. So there we go, got a taunt. Here comes another round of Maul. So my Bossk is tanking this like a champ. Keep healing up. I'm speeding up the footage because, as you see, this takes a while. Definitely helps there to put retribution up on your bounty hunters whenever Grief got his first turn, so we can keep counter-attacking as well, keep stacking those thermal detonators. Alright, my Bossk finally got his second turn, so let's just go ahead and get Canderous out. That's good. Unfortunately, my Boba got taken out, so no more bounty hunter resolve, so I wasn't able to ignore taunt and hit somebody else. Here comes Dengar, pushing back turn meter. Game is processing all these debuffs, as you've seen. Sometimes it will freeze. Come on, Boba, you can hit harder than that, no? I'm still waiting for my Mando to get a turn so he can finally take somebody out. There we go, Mando here, disintegrating bow, because he didn't have bounty hunters resolve, so he wasn't able to ignore taunt. And definitely want to take out bow so you stop the healing from Mandos. So there we go, 5v1, and boom, thermal detonators finishing off Maul, and there we go. So maybe somewhere in the higher sectors this might not work as well. Obviously, again reminding you, this is sector 2 footage because I couldn't find in sector 5 any Maul teams. Padme again is a great team because of all these attacks out of turn. We'll be gaining lots of protection up on the team. Obviously, having Kenobi in there, Maul will start with 5 stacks of Anguish. So the idea here is you just wait for your Echo to get a turn, because he's got a daze that cannot be resisted. He's also got healing immunity, which will stop their healing, stop their assists, stop their counterattacks. Okay, there we go. And Maul just decided to leave the battle there. He had enough, he's seen enough after he saw the play from Echo. We can now turn things around, get that courage stacking, heal up, and now just a case of finishing off the remaining couple of Mandalorians. Thermal detonators, they're helping us out, and Echo salutes Jango out of the battlefield. So there we go, Padme again, a great team, especially if we ever get the return of it range data disks. This will be a great way to counter Maul, I think, even in the higher sectors. Okay, so we go Traya. Obviously Traya there punishes enemies when they attack out of turn by they keep losing health and protection, but obviously Bow kind of offsets that with her healing. And also whenever enemies they gain a buff outside of their turn, it will reduce their offense by 50%. So this hopefully will allow you to survive your team long enough for your Scion to get a turn, do his AoE, and maybe also then Nihilus get in with Annihilate. As you can see, we keep healing up here. Maul finally beat the dust, as well Canderous. So now it's just down to these 3. Now I did lose my Sith and Paratrooper, he was Relic 1. But again, this is sector 2, so maybe this in higher sectors wouldn't be as reliable anymore. But again, RNG didn't bless me with a Maul team in any higher sectors. The best one I saw was sector 2, so this is what I have to work with for this video. Also worth noting there that obviously my Talon, she's like gear 11, 4 star, 5 star, something like that. Anyway, Jungle by himself can't do much. To be honest, if one Maul kind of explodes, you pretty much got this thing under control. So you go Traya, I think, can work in some cases as well. Moving on to Thrawn lead. Now why Thrawn lead? Obviously with Thrawn, whenever your Empire allies get debuffs applied, they'll be gaining bonus turn meter, so this will hopefully allow you to quickly, you know, get a turn even though the enemies are much faster than you, so you can then get your plays going, get your Vader going with his Force Crush, applying debuffs and everything obviously. Going with Moff Gideon, maybe he can get a turn, control the situation, push back turn meter. Also when he gets a turn, he applies Demoralized on the enemies, which is a debuff, which again will trigger all those data discs as well. Decided there to bring in Brute Alpha, so once he gets taken out, right, we can resummon the tank, and then Watt as well. So hopefully we can dish out some tech to help us out. So let's just go ahead first. Probably I want to put actually weapon tech over on Vader, so maybe he can get a quick turn as well in combination with Thrawn's lead and turn meter gain from weapon tech. Hopefully he can get a quick turn here. Okay, there we go. All right, okay, there we go. So Vader got a turn already, so this is good. Let's go ahead, enter Merciless now, and now just have to be a little bit careful here, obviously with the counter attacks. So I just targeted the Maul there because Force Crush can't be countered. And I'm just gonna go around here. Gotta be careful. Oh, there we go. Was able to take Canderous out. All those debuffs was a big enough hit from Vader to do this. And that's what I'm saying. You have to be a little bit careful here once the enemies get plays going. So to avoid counterattacks, you can also use the ability that you do get with Thrawn's lead. The counterattacks, obviously, the more stacks of this whatever buff they have is called the code or something. So for each of those stacks they get counter chance, you know, so once they get like above 50 they'll be pretty much counter-attacking non-stop. So it's just something to be wary of. That's why you gotta watch out for those counter attacks. There we go, just down to armor. So again, Thrawn can work, not sure in the higher sectors how well would this work or not, but in Sector 2 it worked actually much better than expected, and because obviously the summoned unit doesn't count as defeated, there you were able to get a 3-star win. So moving on to General Skywalker. Obviously the idea here is General Skywalker, hopefully his counterattacks can do some nice damage here in terms of, you know, applying debuffs and then data disc triggering. So there you go, we got a lot of already debuffs on Canderous, ability blocks. Obviously with the General Skywalker lead, no revives, so once Jango went down, he's not coming back. Now he's stuck behind armor. Now Maul is not very clever, he just kind of, you know, spreads his damage a bit, but they will get General Skywalker down, it seems. Okay, let's see how this will end up now. Okay, going after 5s next. I'm just gonna do basics here. Canderous counter-attacking, healing up. Okay, hang in there, boys, hang in there. Okay, perfect. Another one when armor went down because of the thermal detonators. John Skywalker gets up, unload an AoE, there goes Bo, so we stop their healing. So really, once Bo gets down, this team becomes a lot easier to finish off because they can't heal anymore whenever they attack out of turn. Big hit there over on John Skywalker. One thing to note, the offense on your guys will go very fast because for each of those buffs that the enemy is getting, right, will be juicing up your offense. So that's why once Guest got up, he was doing big damage. Okay, so switching over now to the Gonin 32nd data disc set. So this relies on multiple stacks of Amplify Agony data disc as well as Volatile Accelerator to do massive damage straight out of the gate. Hey, Han shoots first, Maul, get out of here. So definitely, I think this team is very good just to get rid of Maul, but there you go, I still nearly lost Han, so we are not out of the woods yet. We have to be careful now with the counter attacks as well, because they got lots of stacks already of their buffs. So there you go, there comes the counter attacks. I'm going to go ahead now and finish off Canderous. Down he goes. Let's finish off as well both, so we stop their healing. There we go, take out the armor and just down to Jango, and boom, down they go. So definitely Silas loves Gonin 30 seconds data disc, can pretty much take out any teams out there. And this is a similar team, but this time instead of Silas lead, you obviously go with the Mando lead, and same thing, Han and Chewie do the damage, and because of all those damage we get from Amplify Agony and Volatile Accelerator data discs, we're getting lots of bonus turn meter, because with Mando lead, whenever we deal damage, our Scandal allies get some bonus turn meter. The 4th and 5th Scoundrels, whichever you put in, doesn't even matter. I just like to use their bow vets just for fun, because you know, you don't get to use them else much, to be honest. Just finish off Django, so there goes Simulac CLS. We tear apart this team very quickly without much issues. So another team, Dash. I have now Dash relic up, so I've been trying out, see if I can get him to work, because if you get your Dash a turn, his AoE deals damage multiple times, applies multiple debuffs. As soon as he gets a turn, he will just basically wipe out the entire team, in combination with obviously Amplify Agony, Data Disc and Volatile Accelerator. Now my Dash isn't that brilliantly modded, neither is Quail. But I think Maul, even in Sector 2, you won't be able to outrun them anyways, because they're over prepared. But at least, you know, we do have a revive there, one revive if we need with Vander Chewbacca. There you go, counterattacks, Nest, IG, going to town. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, that's it. Keep going after Nest, you fools. There we go. Django number 1 down. Unfortunately, their Maul did increase cooldowns on my Dash, so I wasn't able to unleash his AoE. They took him out, but Vander Chewbacca obviously revived him, brought him back. Let's just go ahead and put some foresight on the team. I'm just going to heal up Dash, actually. There we go. Blow up Django. Let's actually do an AoE over here with the bow out, no more healing. Finished off there as well, Maul, and boom, down they go. So Dash again, quite a good team. Again, not sure in on Sector 4-5 if you would still be able to hang in there, but in Sector 2 it seemed pretty safe just because of all those counterattacks. Now General Grievous, no matter the sector, I think is going to be an absolute great counter. There's a bit of RNG with Grievous always, like if they take out your IG, then obviously it's going to be a 2-star finish, but if they go after Newt first, you know, he will just revive, and then that will allow a 3-star finish. But looks like here in Sector 2 they weren't able to really take out Magna Guard out, they're not powerful enough, and once you get your turn meter train rolling, I mean, you know, they never get a chance. So there you go. Definitely seems like General Grievous is going to be an absolute beast versus these Maul teams, just because of B2, you know, immediately getting a turn and causing problems. Okay, so let's do some Galactic Legend battles now. Lord Vader is absolutely great with his data this set, gone in 30 seconds, because he gets a turn, he applies lots of debuffs, then his special AoE as well applies more debuffs, so he pretty much, as soon as he gets a turn, he tears the whole team apart. And being Sector 2, looks like was able to outrun these guys. Probably, you know, Sector 4-5, they might still go first, but I think, you know, you should still be good to go, because obviously with Vader there, Lord Vader lead, you know, you've got lots of survivability, and as soon as then also Darth Vader gets his turns with his Force Crush and everything, you know, these guys fall apart very quickly and easily. So moving on to next battle, another Galactic Legend, Jedi Master Kenobi. He's like God mode or cheat mode almost in Conquest, just because obviously all the survivability, insta-kill with Ahsoka, and most importantly, enemies can't gain bonus turn meter, well, allies as well, but in this case, like, okay, so here we go. I'm just going to first start off here by going after Maul, just get him out. Obviously Kenobi can ignore the taunt, land healing immunity, and that's it. I choose to do that instead of obviously reducing Commander Ahsoka's stun cooldowns, and because she wouldn't be able to ignore the taunt and you would just waste your insta-kill on armor anyway. So better as your first play, go straight after Maul and just get him out, and then the rest becomes very easy. These guys can't gain bonus turn meter, so just kind of tear them apart very quickly. And there we go. Django with all the mass assist as well leaves the battle. So I've got here one more battle for you in today's video. The final one, another Galactic Legend battle. So similar like with Kenobi, we are preventing bonus turn meter gain to the enemies with Hux in there when Hux has advantage. So okay, they get their opening plays going, but they won't be able to gain bonus turn meter. So let's just go ahead, stun Canderous. Also stuns from Supreme Color and can't be cleansed. Unfortunately, we got a daze, but we do have a cleanse coming. So let's just go ahead, pass turn over to Kylo. Now Kylo can do an AoE just to get rid of that daze. Some counterattacks, we can take those. Let's now pass turn back over to Kylo. Hopefully this will finish off armor. More turn meter for the team. Let's get a taunt up. Mass assist, down goes Django. And let's just go ahead. Still stuck obviously behind the taunts. So here I'm just going to go ahead, pop the ultimate, and hopefully the AoE can finish off some people. There we go. We were able to get Canderous out. Let's go ahead, finish Django, and as well go after Maul. And that's pretty much it as well for Supreme Kylo Ren versus Maul, stopping their turn meter train just because of Hux in there when he's got advantage. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Hope you find it useful and helpful, showing you different teams that obviously can work versus Maul, but again with the caveat that this was sector 2 footage because I didn't have anybody higher up, but at least you can see how different data this set and teams kind of interact with each other, that you get to understand mechanics to use versus the small teams. Definitely Gel Grievous, CLS, and as well Beskar Mando, they're the best non-galactic legend teams I think to handle these. Padme as well, if you do get all those thermal detonator stacking and things that can be very useful. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.